Alright, here we go. I'm going to do some two-table NL2. The reason why I'm doing two-table is because I'm really just trying to focus on playing well, playing the good ABC style. And once I can just get a good win rate here at NL2, then I'll worry about adding more tables. But for right now, I just want a good foundation, playing smart poker, uh, using my HUDs properly, and just playing a good ABC style. Then I could add more tables and do things like that. But my focus really here is play smart. And sneeze probably right now. I hope we don't have a lot of freezing because I joined a bunch of waiting lists to try and find good tables. So hopefully I don't freeze a lot. It's full house on the board. And we have a king. Yep. I was playing on America's Card Room and it's just so hard. That site is just like ridiculous. How difficult it is. And I got one more book I'm purchasing from the Crushing the Microstake series. The different plays and stuff like that. Microstake plays. Hopefully after reading all that, hopefully, you know, I can start really just getting on my winning ways here and start building up my bankroll. Also want to try playing zone play on Ignition as well. But the only problem with that is the minimum limit they have is 2.5. So that might be down the line. Right now we'll focus on Betonline. Hopefully play well, build up this bankroll. I need to win about 40 bucks here at NL2 and then move up to NL4. And hopefully I can do that. So here I'm going to raise it up 6 cents. Get a call from the button who's a 48-43. He doesn't really bet to check much, which is a new thing I added to the HUD, which I thought was actually a pretty interesting stat. But now that I get a 3-bet from somebody who has a 3-bet out of 1,700 hands, this is going to be a fold for me. And 5-2 here I can fold. This is a nasty picture. Is that like a ugly Betty White or something? like a cartoony Betty White. What a weird picture. Nine ten suited from the big blind. We'll see what we'll do here. If he flats me, I'm going to raise it. And if there's a bet here, then I'm going to fold. Because I believe big blind versus the button. Let's see, 10-9. Alright, so he raises me here, big blind versus small blind. I'd be in position. So I actually am going to call this here. And it's not a great flop. He c-bets most of the time, so he c-bets extremely wide, but I just don't really have much to play with here. Only have his really draws, and that's it. So he's a pretty aggressive player throughout too, so he's going to keep on betting. So easy spot to fold here. 10-2, of course, is going to be a fold. I got a table opening up. And let's see. I have two fish over here. And I don't know much about this guy here, but let's stick this to... Oh, we're going to have an open seat. So that's always good, because there's a potential for... Oh, we got this guy up here, though. I don't know much about him either. I've never seen him before. So we'll be able to sit out for a little bit. If it's... Let's see who we get sitting here, and I'm curious to see what this guy's going to be about. He's on the table for $7.96 and in front of me, which is kind of scary. This King 4 suit is going to be a fold. Shenanigans 96. But the fact I have these two fishy players here is okay. And he plays tons of tables. He's not aggressive. Okay, so a full. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I'm just looking at stuff. Aggression factor. I should have. Oh, I made my aggression factor thing, but that's. Oh. I see. Never mind. I was just. Never mind. We do have shenanigans here now. Alright, so this guy I played 11 hands with. He's a 27-0. And he does limp. So he's just maybe a fish just getting a lot of action. He's a 37-28. And he's a 1933. Very passive. Very passive player. Alright, so I'm okay with this table for now. At ace-8, I'm just going to check back. I don't know anything about this guy. And if he checks to me, I'll check as well. That's puts me in a spot where I gotta... Well, I can just check again and just see if I get the flush, and if not, I don't mind. Ace does come. I'm just going to check down because I don't really believe he's going to be betting with anything better and with anything worse. So and this is going to be a table that I will not be playing at. Let me just fold this. And right here, check. I just don't want to leave the table while I'm playing at it. So this spot here, he doesn't really bet. He's going to end up folding if I have to, I want to bet here, so. He may fold, though. Oh, he did call. Alright, so this is interesting. He could have a jack. I'm going to bet to him again. It's interesting that he keeps on betting. So I'm going to check off now, and see what he puts in. Alright. He could have had a better 8 at that point. Alright, I'm going to leave this table. Hopefully we don't freeze. Good. I think I just got to wait a little bit before there being a possibility of it freezing on me, which has been really annoying lately. Alright, so this I'm going to raise up. I'm going to make it 8 cents because of the limper. This person, I have him as a fish. I don't have a HUD on him yet. This guy plays 50% of his hands, so no surprise that he calls me, but he's out of position. So this spot here, he folds to c-bets 2 out of 4 times. I think I can just bet small here. And he raises, and I'm going to fold. His fold to raise, that was his first time he raised the flop. So, I mean, he definitely must have something pretty good there. King 4, I'm going to fold. I think that was a perfectly safe C bet there. But he raises it. Easy fold. I'm not screwing around with raises. Especially a guy that's the first time in 16 opportunities he's even raised a flop. Jack 8's easy fold. This guy has limped 4 times out of 4 opportunities so far. So versus him, let's see. If he limps in to me, I'm raising him. He calls, so I could just easily just call this here. I'm going to be in position. His fold to C bets 1 to 3 in 7 hands. I mean, he hasn't really played much yet. Pretty loose player. If he bets into me, I'll fold. If not, I'll just check. Obviously, with a huge overbet like that, I'm not calling with nothing. We froze with a table opening up. This is driving me crazy when this does this. constantly. This thing's been freezing on me. When tables open up and closing tables, and it's annoying when you're on all these waiting lists. Hopefully I didn't get any good hands. That got folded. I should take myself off all waiting lists that I'm on. Alright, here I can raise this up. Am I over here? No. I gotta take myself off all the other waiting lists. Because I'm fine with these tables. I gotta wait again over here. It's annoying. No reason to bet here on a multi-way pot. I have nothing, and obviously these guys can easily have something. I wish there was a way for me to figure out what's... Alright, I just gotta look through each one. So leave waiting list. Fold this. I just gotta find all the waiting lists I'm on, get off them so I don't freeze. It's a real hassle when this thing freezes up. I wish there was a way for me to see all the just the NL2 tables too. King 7 here in this spot. I'll raise. Three-way pot. Nothing going on. I don't have really any hands on these guys to make any kind of bet. I could fold this. I have nothing happening here. Fold this in this spot. Ace 9. Actually, no, I could raise it up from cutoff. Here, this will be a fold. Alright, I get to play him heads up. He's a little bit of a lunatic. But I don't really have much going on here, and I don't think I have much fold equity against him. His HUD isn't up right now, so we'll just check back. I get a 9 as a flush draw now. Curious to see how he bets this. I'm actually gonna shoot now a bet. Maybe I have some fold equity with the flush being out there. Flush, straight draw is a lot happening. If he raises me, I'll fold. I put myself in a tough spot though, because he could bet here. There's a straight draw and a flush draw. But me being in position versus him, that does help a little bit. And I get ace 9 again. Easy check. 8-8-7. Obviously no reason to be screwing around here. I didn't put any money into this pot besides the blind, so I don't think I have any more tables. I hope. Doesn't really seem to be many. I guess we'll see, but let's hope that no more of these situations arise. This crazy guy left. Ace 5 from the button is either an open or a fold, so here I can open it up from the button, easy open. This guy's 3-bet. He's only 3-bet once, so obviously I'll fold to a 3-bet, but I'll take it, which is good. Ace 10 from the cutoff is a raise. And here I get a min raise, and he's only, a mid 3-bet. He's only 3-bet once out of 27 times. So I don't really feel like, even for 4 cents extra, that's two big blinds. There's no reason to continue there. This is a player who has a 5.6 PFR and has 3-bet once, now twice. He's only doing that with aces or kings. This is a fold. This is a fold. Both tables right now are playing 4-way. The other thing that kind of attracts me to the zone poker, let's see, from button ace 3. The one thing that attracts me to the zone poker also is you're always going to have 6-person tables, and the action is going to be constantly moving. Of course, I get a call from him. I mean, he plays 50% of his hands. 3-way pot, unfortunately, not what I wanted. 3-way pot is really nothing I can do. Even if an ace comes out, I got such a crappy ace. I have no fold equity here, so I have to just check it. And I get a 3. Again, I have no fold equity. I'm really kind of just stuck in this position. It would be a better situation if our heads up. We get the limp into me. We're 3-handed right now. I'm going to make it 8 cents. We do have somebody coming in on the left, on the right here. Alright, so this spot here, I do believe I can get him to fold on this, so let me bet half pot. He calls. Interesting. This is a terrible board now at this point. This would be a check fold. Couldn't really induce it, and fold it up. I guess it would have been better to check there because he did have a lower bet when check too. So I think actually the C bet was a bad spot. I just don't really have any hands on him to make it to make a good determination. But I just bet half pot. We are 5-way now at this table, it seems. Ace 4 in this spot here. I'll make it 8. with the limper. And we get a three-way pot, and I don't hit the flop. So again, this is just going to be a spot where, you know, I have no reason. There's no reason to continue. I don't have any draws, nothing. Just gotta wait until I get something, hopefully. Because we got some crazy players at the table today. So 10-9 here from the essentially middle position spot. But it's at the 8, of course. Hopefully I get a heads up pot, not a multi-way pot. Would be nice. Unfortunately, we do get a multi-way. I do have top pair, medium style kicker. He puts in a crazy bet. I mean, this guy is just a super aggressive player. But the problem is with the 10, you know, this guy has range. Looks like it's going to be crazy. Looks like he's just a crazy player. I only have 2 hands so far, but you can just tell. This guy's a wild man. And then that was a problem with calling that 10 bet, unfortunately, because now you get a king that comes out. I don't really have much else to go with here. If he checks, then I could check. But I think he's just crazy. So now we bet 6 cents. What a weird bet. I'm going to fold it. It seems just odd. All of a sudden he would put in 6 cents. What am I going to do there with there being a flush draw? Here we are. Sorry, I got to raise this up. So this would be an interesting situation. Obviously, I got to raise him. Here I get, all right, so ace 6, this is an easy c-bet spot. All right, he does call. This is a good spot for me here. He's docked 1 out of 1 time, so he bets 6 cents here. I'm actually just going to call it for now. See if I could just get it on towards the end. My goal here is just to shove at the end. Oh, I got a good amount off him. Here, there's no reason to just do anything interesting. Obviously, this is a fold. Right now, I am 4-way. Oh, we have 4-way or 5-way. I'm not sure. 100 hands. His fold to his steal is 66%. So I'm just gonna fold it. 6-7 here. With this crazy guy, man. Normally I would like to raise this here. I'm gonna limp behind. See if I can just see a pot for free. 6-8 is a fold. So yeah, nothing really happening here. Just easy fold. In that spot, I can just limp behind. It's a good chance it's gonna be a multi-way pot, or I'm gonna have to deal with him. It's not a hand I really want to deal with in that spot. This guy posts. I'm under the gun, middle position. This guy's a maniac. Good, great player to have on my right. Bottom pair, not going to do anything for me on this board. Eight seven offsuit. Nope, folding it to the raise, of course. So Jack Queen. I got this fish to me on the right. Everybody's limping in. This is not a hand I want to play out of position. Just has such little playability. Alright, so we're five-handed here. King Jack. I will raise it up. Don't love King Jack, but now at least I know I'm going to be in position to play it. Makes it a lot easier. Super short stack here. He folds a C bet 6 out of 7 times. This is an easy bet. He should fold. If he doesn't fold, then we have to think about it. And King 4 is going to be a fold from the button, especially from a raise from somebody who's a maniac, but, you know, he limps. That's actually the first time he hasn't limped. So you got to think he's got at least a pocket pair to be betting like that, and probably a premium hand. So ace queen, I'm not. Queen 8, I won't be playing from the small blind. This guy right now is playing at a 90-20. And just a betting machine, which obviously is going to make it almost impossible to hand read versus him. So I'm going to have to be careful playing versus him. Because he literally could have anything. Guy's a complete maniac. This guy up here too, it seems to just be playing every hand. Oh, look, he had 3 of a kind. Still lost it straight. This table is extremely fishy. This guy's just a passive player. But, I mean, look at his... He's at the table with no money. This table's all blue. This table, this guy's a 28-19. So, he actually has some reg tendencies. But the fact that he's, you know... He's very passive, though, this guy. That's one thing for sure. He's an interesting player. Not a great play to my right, though. But both these players really aren't great players. They're very tight. This guy showed up. This would be an awful area for him to be playing. So not a good seat for him. He's pretty, I'd say, a very passive reg. He's a 26-7. Has some standard aspects to him. But a 26-7 is a very wide range. Oh, I'm sorry. Those weren't his stats. Never mind. All right, so ace-8. Hopefully we get a heads up. Unfortunately, we get a four-way pot with ace-8 offsuit. Gross. And really no reason to continue in his hand. Four-three suited. We fold. If I just start opening up tighter on this table or something, because everybody's coming along with me. Either that or increase my opening size. But this guy would fold the C bets. This guy maybe will fold the C bets. He's not folding to nothing. The problem is he's coming along with every single hand, no matter what. So is he. He's got a 90 VPIP. So I might really have to tighten up my opening range. Uh, 9-7 suited here. I'm going to open from the cutoff. And I get a heads up pot. I have middle pair. I don't have much information on him, but let's just throw a small bet his way, see if we just get the fold. His name is Good Fold after all. His name's Good Fold, so I mean, you think that probably equates to something. All right, so he's a 19-15. I mean, he's a pretty solid reg. This guy, he's a solid player. 19-15. I mean, he's very balanced actually. Surprised he's still here in this level. All right, so I'm going to check the 6-8 suited. And this is an interesting one. I have an open and a straight draw, but there is a pair out there, which is kind of a problem. 4. I'm just going to min raise it. I mean, this is not a good situation, obviously. I'm going to fold this, of course. Normally I would bet 8 in this spot, but with it being a small pocket pair, I'm just going for the 6, and I'll limp if given the opportunity. Crazy man left, unfortunately. I didn't happen to catch why. It's just simple. I don't care if it's heads up pop, but obviously I can't call a 3-bet with 4s, unfortunately. All right, so ace-5. Where the hell am I? Oh, he posted. I couldn't figure out where I was on the table. I'm really loving my ace offsuit. Huh? Ugh, gross. It's got top hell rail is just like a super passive whale. He plays every hand and then folds. So if he starts playing a hand, he's got something. So you can think where he's got at least at minimum an ace. Here to see how this hand plays out. If we get to see what he has, if he bets here, yeah, I mean, yeah. If he's going to be aggressive, he'll be hard to take money off of because if he's going to be aggressive, you're going to have to have a better hand than him. An open raise versus him is like he has pocket aces with a 6% PFR. I'm going to limp this one through. If he raises, then I can fold it up. And nothing doing here, so we'll fold it. The king jack, I will raise. Both tables have duds. 3-2 and 9-2. Gross. So let's see what happens here on the left. You got one limp. Chaz John, so you got limp pot. Queen 4-10. Well, I gotta play king 10 offsuit from the middle position. Is actually going to be a fold here. So I can see we got check check. So let's see what I want call it. I want to see what Hell Rel has. I get a raise. Will we call a raise? Wow. I'm thinking at least two pair, if not trips. Minimum. This guy's a crazy guy too. This guy in 50 hands is a 63-24. Him also, he's got fold to C bet a 4-5, 80% passive. Alright, obviously just raise this one up. I do expect to get called. And I mean I have a bottom flush draw. I can check to him. He doesn't really bet when check to. So I should be able to get a free card out of him. Alright, now I have the nut flush draw. So I'm going to throw a bet his way. I think he should call it. That's with value. Now I hit nothing. He's passive. Let's probably go to showdown, see what happens. I'm not expecting to bet. He bets I could easily fold, so I wanted to bet on that turn in case I did get the flush, so I get some kind of value. Six five suited here from the button. 5-6 suited, 6-5 suited. All right, let me bump this one up. I actually could check through on this one. I'm gonna call through. I got no problem limping it through. Let's see what we get on the flop. All right, so I get a pretty good flop here. I will call a bet. It's a pot size bet. It's interesting that he bets this here. Let me call it. I do like to check here. I can check back now. Hopefully get this flush. Don't hit it. I'll have to fold. Well, maybe I'll just win with the 6. Because he's not aggressive on the river. I'm not going to try and bluff him. Yeah, he had queens. I probably should be betting in that spot still. No, I shouldn't be passive myself. I'm being a little bit passive. 5-6. Just like I don't want to go multi ways with 5-6. But maybe it's something I should have done. Because then, like, let's say I'm up against this guy heads up. I can then get the fold. So, I can't be playing passive. Stop playing passive. I don't want to be passive. Even though that was a perfect limping through spot because 5-6 is just so marginal. So this is his first 3-bet. 3-7-3. He can't be happy about that. Especially getting a half pot bet. He calls it. It's interesting. Let's see what happens here. He's very passive. These bets would not shock me to see him flip over 7s, 9s. Oh, that does it for him. He had what, ace king did he have? I missed what he had because I was looking to see what he had up there. What did he have? I would have liked to be able to see it. Hand replay not working. Okay. I would have liked to have seen that hand. I don't know why the hand replayer isn't working. It's kind of annoying. There's nothing doing on this hand. A6, I'm not playing out of position. Ace queen. So this is interesting. He's a 40. He's a fold. All right, so I'm actually gonna three bet here for isolation. Um, I really don't want a multi-way pot. If he four bets me here, obviously I'll fold. And he's never four bet. So, all right, I'm glad that happened. I just didn't want to play a multi-way pot. That's the bottom line. I hate multi-way pots. They just handcuff to like your hand value. You can't play poker in a multi-way pot. And ace queen is a good three betting hand. And from the button too, I didn't make the three bet too high. I would have made it higher if I was in the small blind, of course. Jack 7 I could fold. Uh, 10-9 offsuit from middle position is going to be a fold, of course. So right now at the two tables, I am playing at a 22-19 on the right. Pretty happy about that. My aggression is at a 7.0, which I kind of like. Happy about that. And on the other table, I'm playing at a 19-13. That's a little wide. That's a little wide. A little bit wider than I would like. Obviously, the kings will make it 8. See if anybody comes along. Get a 3 bet here. He does not 3 bet very often. My plan here is I'm going to 4 bet him. That'll give us an idea if he has aces or not. If he shoves, then I could definitely fold. So let's raise it up to 81. And he calls. Okay. This is a very interesting situation here. I'm thinking he has ace king. I don't think he has aces. So you know what? Let's bet half pot. And he get the fold. Good. My guess is he had ace king. I think he would have 4 bet me if he would have definitely 4 bet me if he had aces. But that's one thing I'm doing. In those situations, 3 bet, 4 bet with kings and aces, especially. That's really the way I'm going to know if somebody has aces. And I think it was important that I bet that there being, the pre-flop aggressor, perfect spot to c-bet anyway. I don't want him to realize all of a sudden, he gets an ace if he did have ace king. Here in this spot, we'll bump it up to 8. This queen 9, I will raise if given the opportunity. Multi-way pop, but that's fine because I'm really only continuing with 9s for the most part anyway. This is just, let's see. Do I really have any fold equity here? I do, actually. I can bet this. See if I can get them both to fold, thinking I have a flush. And of course, he comes along. So now at this point, if he bets me, I fold. If not, I'm just checking behind. He's not so aggressive. So it's interesting. It's very well he could have a king. But he doesn't. All right, so that worked out. I do think it was the right bet with them all checking around to me. I was in position, so it was a good spot for me. I did think that I would just get them all to come along though. He's a 23-19, obviously ace 10. I'm going to have to call here. I could 3-bet him here. He's a pretty aggressive player. Actually, I think I'm going to 3-bet in this spot and try at least get this heads up. Unfortunately, we get this guy to come along, and that's not ideal. This flop kind of sucks for us. So I think this is obviously an easy fold. It would have been a lot better if he didn't come along, obviously. But he wants to play every hand, and that's exactly why I 3-bet to hopefully isolate the situation. That did not work. That did not work. Noted, this guy is not folding under any circumstances pre-flop. Which just might cause me to shove when I get aces. Pre-flop. Because I don't think that he would fold, even to a shove. At least not pre-flop. Post-flop, different situation. He's not aggressive post-flop. I think the ace-10 suited is perfectly reasonable. 3-bet in that spot. And it was definitely a spot where if he did not stay, I would have won. I would have c-bet him. No, he's not the guy who was there before, and I would have taken on the pot, but schmuckhead over here. Had to want to be involved. You jerk. And he probably called by bet with nothing. And landed some crap on the flop. So the 9-8 offsuit here. Because this guy is just calling every single bet. Do I really want to raise it here? Well, I said I don't want to be passive, but I'm just going to raise it 6. Normally I would do 8 here with the limper, but this guy just calls everything anyway. So he folds a bunch of C bets, so this is an easy bet. He doesn't have an ace, I think he'll fold. But he raises. That's an interesting. This is only the second time he's raised on the flop, so obviously I'm not calling to raise anyway. I think it was a still reasonable C bet. I did have some fold equity against him. He's not so aggressive post flop, but obviously in that spot there, that was the second time raising the flop. I'm gonna say he's definitely flop honest. He may not be pre-flop honest, but he's definitely flop honest. Queen 5 fold from under the gun. I'm actually very anxious to try that zone poker. Unfortunately, Bitcoin has been terrible lately, and I'm down all my money right now. I can't really move money around in Bitcoin right now during this downswing. I need to wait till it goes up. Hopefully it does. All right, so Ace Jack here. We're heads up at this point. I'm just gonna check it. I'm gonna be out of position, and I don't think I can get him to fold here, obviously. So, and it's such a crappy. Let's see. Yeah, I thought that would happen. He actually had the button click too. The problem is here now. I don't really think I can induce a bluff. I bet she's gonna bet here no matter what. And I can see that bet. It's a bet of I have nothing. So this isn't really. I should fold here with having nothing. If an ace comes out, I have him beat. But you know what? I'm just gonna fold it. I'll lose the little bit that I put in there, which was really nothing. So I did check it. So it's not like I really lose anything in that spot. Where I could have lost if I did put in the bet with nothing. Here I get this guy. He has a 6.3 PFR. He's opened up 9 hands out of 152. So my king queen offsuit. I would have to 3-bet it here because I don't want to be playing it in a multi-way pot to begin with. And I'm guessing it has something pretty solid to be, with a 6.3 PFR in 152 hands. That's such a small range that he would have. No reason to even be involved in that. Even though I like king queen, just no reason to be involved in that. I hope one of these guys. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, Pay and Pray, because I didn't want to have to fold the ace 5, knowing that he's coming along no matter what. All right, here we get kings. This is gonna be an interesting spot. Obviously, it's a 3-bet if the opportunity comes up, but if not, right here, we'll just raise it up. See if we get somebody to play me out of position. I do with this guy here. So this is interesting. All right, so he, obviously I'm going to have to bet him here. I'm going to bet 2/3 pot. And he folds it. And now it's just standard, doesn't matter, stats. So the ace-2 offsuit from the cutoff. Yeah, I'm going to fold. Alright, so ace-queen. It's another 3-bet spot here. This guy's a heavy limper too. If he raises, but he's super passive, and he timed out. I may just have the opportunity to just bet my ace-cents right here off the top, which would be fine. Ace-10 offsuit from under the gun is a fold. Alright, so I'm going to bump it up to 8 cents. Hope we get a good flop to play with. Obviously he calls. I think he just clicks a call any button. Alright, I do get a good flop. So I could actually check this here because he's super aggressive on the turn. And I'm actually going to do that. Let's see him be aggressive on the turn here. Well, that's not the kind of aggression I was looking for, but alright, so obviously I'm just going to raise him up 2/3 pot. I'm not playing games now. You could fold if you want to. That was the kind of aggression I was looking for. I'm just going to call the 8s out of position because either I get the 8s or I don't. I was hoping for some real aggression out of Hell Rail. Not this min bet crap. Alright, so I don't get him 8, so I'll fold any bet. Yeah, when he raises, it's like he has a monster. Friggin' Hell Rail. Really hoping to see that 8 come out there. Sometimes it's just nice. Obviously now we're done. I knew obviously he wouldn't. Good chance he wouldn't call that raise, but I got to do it. I don't want him to fold. Obviously, I want him to call the raise, but I'm not. I got to bet for value at that point. I checked knowing that he would bet on the turn. There's a good chance he would have folded. He put out that 2 cent, like, oh, maybe let's see if I can just get you to fold with this 2 cents. It's a little baby bet, and maybe you will fold. And that's why he has a 52.2 turn aggression. Because he's betting with anything. But he's also passive. And this is why I am playing two tables, because I want to get more and more used to reading my opponents. This way then I can do it quickly on the fly when I play four tables. I am practicing exploitative play. Let's say that I'm practicing exploitative play while playing a good ABC style. So this way then, when I want to bump up my tables, I can do it without thinking as much. And I can just look and say, bam, okay, this is what he has. Let's do it. Bam, he folds the C bets, but he's aggressive on turns. Great. I will call the flop and let him bet the river. He goes all in. He's got aces, something like that for him to be going all in. He's so passive, this guy. Or he has ace two. Wow. He must have been tilting or something. I didn't catch anything that might have happened here. He must have been tilting to be playing like that. This table's actually kind of reggish now. Suitus Guardian. No, let's work. I have already here. No, he's right. This table just got very, very reggish and very, very. All right, he left. So let's see who comes in this spot. Hey, we lost our boy up here. All right, so 10-8 suited from the button. All right. All right. King 10 from cutoff. Even versus regs, I mean, a lot of these guys really still aren't very good. I mean, the bid zone looks solid. Uptown Funk isn't great. Um, Obviously, for a 10-9 offsuit in a spot. Now he comes over here. I'm actually down overall for this session. All right, so Ace Jack. I'm gonna pump this up to 10. the limper in there. Well, actually, I should have done for 8. I screwed that up. Now I'm going to have to play out of position. I really hope he folds. All right. Ace Jack, not really what I wanted. He folds a C bets 2 out of 3 times. So I could bet this here, and I bet he's going to fold. If he doesn't fold, obviously, then I'm done. But he folds. This is a fold here. So this is great. Now I got him over on my right. Beautiful. Him over on my left. Not beautiful. Although, let me remind myself of his stats. When they pop up. He just super... I think he just was so tilted. He was just in like super tilt mode. He came here, just went all in, and I'm out of here. After what happened here. Unfortunately, I was not the lucky winner of that tilt. Alright, we got kings here. Let's see what we do. Alright. Making this 8 cents. So he's just kind of loose more than anything. He's not really 3 better. Get a call there, which is kind of interesting. Here at the 10 jacks, I'm going to raise it up. Get the ace, which is interesting. He's only donking bet once, so I could believe that he has an ace if he bets into me. I could actually fold this. This really would be a spot to fold, because I got to get a king to come out, and I don't believe he's betting me with anything worse than aces in this spot. So I need to have a king come out. The thing is, he bet me 6 into 24. I get good pot odds to at least call one more, see if I get a king. Let's see now. Alright, so now he plays it passive. He's very passive on the turn. I'm just going to give him a half pot bet, see if I can get the fold on this one. He could have a bad ace too. He could just have a crappy ace. He doesn't. And I'm going to do, hopefully he checks here. I might actually have to fold to a bet. I really hope he checks though. Such a low bet. I can't fold. He knows that too. I'm going to call it, and I do expect to see an ace. So I don't think there's anything he's betting with me worse than an ace here. Or a straight. Or straight. Interesting. That I got to look at that one. That's an interesting spot there. My next dead hand, I want to see if I can take a look at that hand. You know, I knew I was behind the whole time too. See, that's my problem is in those spots I gotta learn to fold, but I wasn't behind in what I thought I was behind by. A6 suited from middle position. I can raise it up. Because I knew I was behind, right? I kept on saying the whole time I was behind my aces. Now, sure, I ended up losing to a straight, but still. It was a situation I knew I was behind. Let's see, king 10, king queen offsuit. First chance I get when I got nothing going on either table. Joey B, I don't know anything about. Because he's just very passive on turns. Here I have a straight draw. I don't have any information on him, but this is definitely a c-bet spot. Let's put up the 9 just to make it look a little more interesting. He calls it. He checks to me again. Here I don't have anything going with it. And I was a pre-flop, so let's bet. So I'm going to check. I got nothing happening here. Why even bet 2? Why? I mean, I hope you at least would have a pair. I'm gonna raise him here. So this guy's gonna just play every hand, it seems. I don't think I have any fold equity. Let me check back. No, I have is just a meh flush draw in this spot, but I do have a straight draw too. Alright, so I can call it. And just see, I could still have the best flush, but I'm not raising him or anything with that. Alright, good. If I raised him, I'm only getting called by better flushes. Alright, now I have a chance to just see if I can go back. I don't know why this isn't working. I see. Steal. What did I have? I forget what. I had the kings. Here it is. He had 6-7. So he had 6-7. He called my bet with the flush draw. 3-4. He just hit that on the river. Wow. Makes me wonder if I would have bet the turn, if he would have folded I mean, he just had a gut shot too. He got pretty lucky on that hand. It's interesting because the whole way I'm thinking, oh, he's got an ace, you know, and he just had 6-7, straight draw, flush draw, and he just got lucky getting his 5. Not sure if I played that hand correctly or not. Interesting. I think I might post this one in the forums. It's because I had him on an ace. This is interesting because it's like, if I would have folded, I would have folded like nothing. Because if I'm correct, didn't he... I'm going to actually bump this up here. I expect to fold. I'm going to look back at that a little bit later. Next dead spot, I want to see... remind myself how that went down. With those kings. Because let's see, the flop... so I intend to fold. Oh, he bet into me on the flop. So he bet into me on the flop with nothing. I think it was actually a great bet by him. And I almost folded to it. And then he checks. When he checked, maybe I should have bet there. Maybe I should have bet on the turn. That's the question I have is, should I have bet on the turn? Should I have bet on the turn? When he checks to me, maybe he has a vulnerable hand. This guy's another wacko. And I know his turn aggression isn't big. If I bet there, he probably folds. The question is, do I want him to fold? The other question is, if I bet there with kings, because obviously if I bet there, he's going to fold. And in fact, it was a really bad bet by him to begin with. But I think I should have taken that. That's the thing. He bets. He checks on the turn. I think that's a clear bet for me next time. That's a clear bet. Maybe that means he was on a draw. He bet the draw and didn't have the ace. And I could just get him to fold in that spot. The question is, do I want him to fold or do I not want him to fold when I have kings and he doesn't have an ace? But am I ever getting him to bet with anything worse ever again in this hand? I think the answer is no. I did open up the betting. I think that's just a great hand to post. In fact, I'm going to start sitting on the tables. It's getting late. I'm going to post that hand. I'm going to go to bed. King 3 fold. So it's an ace king. I'm going to 3-bet it if I had the opportunity. I don't. If I do 3-bet, I'm going to 4-bet. Here in this spot, I am going to raise it up to 8. I get called. He folds a C-bets 45. He's not very aggressive on the turn as well. So I could check this one here. You know what? This is actually a good spot to bet. What happened here? Queen, queen. So I could definitely. Alright, and now I am happy to put in this bet here. And he calls it, and that's interesting. He's not aggressive on the river. If I bet him here, he's probably not going to call it anything worse than king, so I'm just going to check it. I did get 2 streets of value there, so I can't complain. Here I get 8, 9, 9, 8 from, this is essentially a middle position spot. 9, 8 suited, so actually I can raise it up. I'm not going to do a 6 cent raise though. Suited connector, I don't want to do an 8 cent raise. I just hopefully I don't get 3-bet. I do, unfortunately. So I'm folding on it. Like those speculative opens, I always seem to get 3-bet on. Alright, that's it. Actually, I thought it was pretty interesting. I'm going to upload this one to YouTube. I actually thought it was pretty interesting.